have designers across 4 life-changing brands who will be sharing their stories and showcasing their creations on the catwalk. First up, I'd like to introduce Anna from Holi Boli.
Hi everyone. I once kicked myself for studying fashion design, learning something so useless, so vain. How was I going to help make the world a better place by sewing? My heart cried for women in hard-to-reach places. My convenient electric garage door and convenient running water felt absurd and bordering immoral compared to living standards in many other places. In 2006, on my first trip to India, I learnt that this skill I held, if shared, could drastically change the trajectory of women's lives in the village. So in 2010, I shifted with my husband Daniel and our 3 small kids to live in a village in India where we set up home and brought opportunity to the doorstep of village-bound women. Humble beginnings of sitting cross-legged on the concrete floor, giving home sewing classes to my neighbours. Organically it grew with demand into a small ethical manufacturing sewing house. The Holi Boli sewing house is their happy place, where they feel a sense of belonging, they feel respected, they feel wanted, they feel loved. 10 years later, I've seen women who acquire this new skill and fair pay get healthy enough to have babies, wealthy enough to replace mud floors with clean concrete, confident enough to talk in a group, safe enough to laugh out loud, bold enough to wear what she wants, strong enough to voice her opinion, and worthy enough to expect respect. I see women helping women, lifting each other up. It's a beautiful sisterhood. Now would you please enjoy our new Global Sisterhood collection. Thank you.
Em and I run Duffle&Co together. I'm the CEO, but I do a lot of the boring stuff.
And I am Emily, and I'm the creative director.
I'm passionate about creating a world where humans and nature can coexist in harmony. This sparked my drive to start Duffle&Co and led me to exploring developing countries.
And I joined Duffle&Co because I wanted to spend my time developing a brand that makes real positive impact. We support talented craftsmen, empower local communities, and plant trees to restore much needed biodiversity to the area where we make, which is Bali if you didn't know. Because of all of this, we're certified as climate positive, and we're also a certified B Corporation. Today we are showing a collection of seasonless staples, sustainable materials, and timeless shapes. Each piece is centered around regenerating Mother Nature and empowering the craftsmen that are part of our journey.
I founded Duffle&Co back in 2015. It was when I was in Pushkar, a small town in northern India, that I stumbled across some beautifully made leather bags on the side of the road. They were made by several different families, and I visited each of their workshops in turn. They all had the exact same story. Since the trade shift to China, they had all lost their jobs in manufacturing. So we're trying to sell their bags at local markets, but without much success. After meeting them and forming a relationship, I figured all they needed was a helping hand. So I put my life savings together and bought 100 of their bags and imported them to New Zealand. We support over 50 craftsmen globally and actively create beneficial social and environmental change. Funnily enough, we've gone full circle and we're working with another Indian workshop that have helped us to create our beautiful new hand-woven organic cotton canvas duffel bags and naked biodegradable New Zealand leather.
So without further ado, here's Duffle&Co.
Let me fall back into sleep. And when I wake up, you say I had a real bad dream.
Hello all. It is a privilege, especially in the light of what the world is facing right now and the pressures and changes our country and our industry are facing, to stand before you and share the kaupapa of Tonic Cloth. Earlier, Anna expressed so beautifully her why, but also some of the life-changing stories from the Holi Boli sewing house. It was this passion and these stories that first set my heart alight as I searched for a production partner who wouldn't just tick the ethical or sustainable or fair wages box, but someone who, both with bootstraps and heart, fully leaned into the kaupapa of honour, of lifting each other up, of being celebrated for the work of one's hands, of wanting to change an industry from the inside out, embracing collaboration instead of competition. It has been a privilege to have Holi Boli create Tonic Cloth collections that honour the maker and lift the wearer. The concept of selling a dress to change a life is so simple. We make production decisions that honour the maker, then our tribe buy the garment. Those two simple actions have the power to change the world. To purchase garments with stories, garments whose makers have faces and names, and because of their purchase, not just faces and names, but a future too. What we have witnessed since launching is an industry significantly changing, fueled and encouraged by increasingly savvy customers who truly do want to know who made their clothes. I like that whether I sell a garment which was made in India or New Zealand, I can name the maker. There's something so powerful about knowing a name. It creates a connection which leads to community, and in that community there is strength and a voice and the power to see deep change in an industry that is crying out for it. We're about to see pieces which have been created both in Balupali at the Holi Boli sewing house, and which will soon be in production with Duffle&Co in Wellington. The garments are made from organic denim, linen, cotton, organic hemp and ethical merino. No matter where they are made and what they are made from, they are designed to allow the wearer to just be as she moves throughout her day. That means flattering cuts that drift across the tummy. That means pockets and stretched denim and soft belts with elastic detail. These clothes have beauty and ease. We call them Monday clothes that feel like Sunday. Anyway, let's take a look at the clothes. my background is in business, and my work experience is mainly in not-for-profit management, so nothing at all to do with fashion, and I honestly thought this was one of the last places that I would ever end up. But during my work career, my husband and I run an organisation that connected groups of young people from New Zealand with organisations in developing countries, so that they would have an opportunity to see that firsthand. So each school holidays we would travel and we would lend a short-term helping hand to organisations who were doing great work long-term on the ground. In 2007, the Cambodian government embarked upon this mission to improve the capital city to make it more attractive for tourism. So as a part of that project, they were evicting slum communities of people outside of the city just to clean up places like the riverfront because they wanted it to be attractive for tourism. In the case of the community that my friends worked with, they lived on the riverbank right downtown, so that was really prime real estate. So eventually the time came that they too were evicted, and they were packed onto the back of trucks and they were taken out to a rural area outside of the city called Day to Mai, which means new land. Garment factories established themselves right next to this community, so as it grew, they understood that they basically had a captive workforce of people that had little alternative, and they would work for very low pay, long hours and terrible working conditions. So using my business background, I thought I'll just try to do something to help, and we started the ReCreate workshop for women to come and train. So with ReCreate, we want to continue being a voice in the industry that says there's a better way to do things. So I'd love to share with you a little bit of our collection. We've got a mixture for you of our autumn collection, which will be out next month, as well as a few of our favourite pieces from our spring collection, which will be out later this year. It's been designed by our creative director, Mariella Vanderven, and she's done a beautiful job, so I hope you enjoy it.